Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. First off, I want to thank you all for the support on part 1. Being a new small channel, I do appreciate every single one of you that spent the time to watch the video and even leave a like and subscribed. So thank you all so very much. Today we'll be taking a look at the final video that is currently available on the ChezzKids Archive. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, I highly suggest you check out the first link in the description, so this video will make sense as this entire series is a very entertaining ride. So without further ado, let's get into the final video on the ChezzKids Archive YouTube channel.
Oh, hi! I haven't seen you around. Can I tell you something on my mind? And you gotta promise not to tell anybody. My friend Lola's having a birthday party. It was going pretty smooth until that storm came by last night and totally blew all the presents all over the town. You know, I'm just one cat. There's only a little bit I can do, but if only I had some help. That gives me an idea. You can help me, right? Awesome. All right. Around the town, there'll be some gifts and items like cake, presents, balloons, anything that would work with a party. If you see something, click on it with your mouse. There'll be signs around town to help direct you on where to go. If you see any of my friends around, they might have some clues to help you out. Also, make sure you don't tell Lola. Also, make sure you don't tell Lola. Also, make sure you don't tell Lola. Make sure you... Well, what are you waiting for? Let's go!
We are greeted by Chester the cat, and he tells us that he has a secret he needs to tell us about someone named Lola. He then says there's recently been a storm that ruined a party that he has set up for Lola. The storm blew away everything such as decorations and presents, and it is up to us to go around looking for all the lost items. After Chester finishes, he emphasizes that we absolutely cannot tell Lola about this before he ends up glitching out and looping the same dialogue over and over. Once Chester leaves, we find ourselves in a brightly colored room with a door to our right. We are tasked with finding lost items for the party, and we see a gift in the top right. Upon clicking it, it reveals that it contains some sort of necklace. We then click on the phone resting on the desk, which gives us a message from someone that I believe is named Hopper the Rabbit.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, Chester, call me back when you can. Harry's been looking to buy some more carrots from you. I know you and your grandpa were selling them a couple summers ago, so call me back when you get to the message. Don't keep me waiting.
Once we exit the room, we find ourselves at a crossroads in a park and are met by Lola. She asks us what day it is, and in order to keep our promise to Chester, we lie, saying not knowing what day it is, fully knowing that it's her birthday. This ends up really upsetting Lola, and she stomps off in frustration. Once she leaves, we choose to proceed to the right side path and see a windmill as well as ticking Tim in the background. So upon interacting with Tim, we are greeted with a challenge, and we end up declining this challenge, and we go inside the windmill where we find a pretty creepy picture of a man and a woman. The woman we can assume to be Sarah, while the man is still a mystery as of right now. We also find a present deeper inside the windmill that contained what looks to be a ring or a yo-yo. But upon collecting the present, an alarm starts blaring and the game glitches out.
Hey, nice job!
Just calling you back. You know, we're here. like you look at things kind of thing. That some issues with the site, some bugs. So yeah, hey, if you're gonna come in, please let me know. Let everyone know. Yeah. So call me back when you can.
We find ourselves back at the phone where we get a distorted message from a mystery man pictured in the bottom left. The audio is almost impossible to make out apart from a few snippets. After listening to the message, we leave the windmill and interact with Tim once again, but now he is somewhat glitched out with terrible audio and a disfigured image. Unlike the first time, we do choose to accept this challenge, which is a simple game of tic-tac-toe but renamed as Tim's Tic-Tac-Talk.
I also met your need to best me in a game of my own. So, what do you say? Yes! Let the game begin! You win!
We end up winning the first round of the game, but the second time, Tim cheats and places his third icon outside of the grid, winning him the round. In the final round, aside from our first move, we are not able to make any more moves at all. Tim places his second piece and we begin to hear some terrible audio that almost sounds like moaning. This new image is placed in multiple areas before completely taking over the screen, and upon viewing this new enlarged image, we can tell that it seems to be a disfigured woman. And of course, we immediately can assume that this is Sarah Trills. Oddly enough, we end up winning the challenge and Tim gives us our third present, which is a pocket watch, and upon opening it, we get another distorted image of Tim, and it seems that he's saying something, but we can't tell what exactly. We leave the windmill and are asked an odd question. If 100 of your friends went missing, would you try and find them? Seems that the game is now consciously teasing us about the missing Sarah Trills. The next stage we find ourselves in is with Benny Bear, but when interacting with him, he doesn't actually have anything to say, so we advance to the tree behind him and find ourselves almost entirely engulfed in darkness. And after venturing further down, we find a present of a phone with another message from the same mystery man that left us the previous message.
It sounds like, all I've been getting from you recently is your, you know, because I talk to you and we're in the studio, and it's like whenever I try to talk outside of work, you just aren't very receptive. So I just, you know, was wondering if everything's okay between us. If you want to talk about something, you can. If not, I understand too. I just really care about you. Yeah, just please let me know when we can talk.
Listening in on the second message, we could make the assumption that this is either a close friend, boyfriend, or husband of Sarah, and they are also one of the developers of ChezzKids. So if you watched my first video on the ChezzKids Archive, you will remember there was a part of a person venturing in the woods by themselves in search of Sarah. Now, with this new information, we can likely assume that that man was this one that's leaving these messages. In the next stage, we find ourselves in front of a small blue house with a sky that is disturbingly realistic and out of place. Upon trying to enter the house, we find a note from Harry telling us to come back tomorrow. But before proceeding, we are able to collect another present, and this time we added a bouquet of flowers to our collection. However, this time the gift bugs out and seems to reveal another present before blacking out the contents and then sending us back to the room with the phone. Now, I do want to warn you guys that we are going to be met by the most disturbing audio thus far and is quite loud, so do lower the volume some if you have to.
No one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
At first I thought the noise was a walrus or some sort of creature, but soon we see the man's face come into frame, but this time it's distorted while also being bloodied around the mouth. And it kind of looks like his jaw was ripped clean off in one of the images, as well as having his eyes scooped out. Shortly after, Chester's voice also loops saying "whoa" over and over before we cut to black and hear the slamming of a door.
You did this all for me? Oh,
Whoa. Looks like you saw something you really weren't supposed to see.
In the final arc of the video, we are surprised with the presence of Woodsy Worm, and upon interacting with him, we are met with some eerie whistling and some wind sounds before his face becomes distorted with two beady black eyes and an out-of-place mouth. We are eventually given yet another present, and Lola's face pops up onto the screen in excitement as we give her the present. But before we are able to see the contents, Chester cuts in and says that we saw something that we were not supposed to lay our eyes on. In the ending scene of the video, we see a smiling Sarah Trills as well as the cast of the ChezzKids slowly fading into view with the text, "We love you, Sarah." After a little while, we are given the option to click a yes button, and upon clicking it, the music stops and we return to the game library screen before ultimately being met with a black screen. This seemingly marks the end of the ChezzKids Archive series. Okay, so to recap, what likely happened was Sarah was being touted as a gifted mind and was infatuated with the development of the ChezzKids website. But due to the bugs and the tacky aesthetic of the site, over time she began to be criticized, and in an attempt to please the critics, she became even more immersed in the site while neglecting everything and everyone in her life. But in the end, she was unable to handle the pressure, so Sarah Trills ultimately decided to not alive herself. The man that we see in this last video was her partner that went to look for Sarah, who was presumed missing at the time, and eventually he also attempted to not alive himself when he eventually discovered the corpse of Sarah Trills. So wow, I have to say the series was absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed watching each and every video, and even though we are done covering the series on this channel, I do highly suggest that you go watch the original videos in their entirety because it really is amazing. And the way this last video ended, it seems like it could be the end of the series, emphasis on could. I would love to see a continuation from here, but then again, the way that it concluded seemed very fitting with the way that the characters were sending off Sarah. So that's going to mark the end of my coverage of the ChezzKids Archive. If you guys did enjoy the video, I would greatly appreciate it if you could leave a like and even subscribe if you would like to stay with me as I put out more disturbing content. I put out multiple videos each week. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys next time.